Today, we are seeing a completely different side of Singapore. We are starting from the top deck of city tour bus, getting some of the best views of Singapore streets, buildings, and famous landmarks. Then, we are switching to the local bus and heading towards VivoCity, where we will catch the free train across to Sentosa Island. From there, we are exploring Sentosa, checking out Fort Siloso, walking across the island, and eventually making our way down to the beautiful beach. So there's quite a bit packed into this episode, but before get here, let's go all the way back to where this day actually started, from the top of double-decker bus in Singapore. After a quick walk through the streets, we made our way towards the bus. Within few seconds, we were passing places like the Fullerton Hotel. This was going to be our first proper look around Singapore city. And honestly, if you're visiting Singapore, taking a bus ride gives you totally a different view of the city. You're passing road construction and seeing how much work is still happening across the city. And the next 1 minute you are surrounded by these huge modern buildings. You can just sit back and watch everything change around you. That was actually something I noticed quite a lot in Singapore. Even though the city already looks incredibly developed, there are still construction happening everywhere. New projects, roadworks, buildings going up. And even you look up again and you are surrounded by this massive skyline. From street level, you don't always realize how dense and modern Singapore is. And this was only the beginning of the ride. As the bus kept moving, we slowly started getting away from the main tourist areas and seeing another side of Singapore. And this is actually why I enjoy taking local buses when I'm traveling. But the traffic sucks for sure. Along the way, there was really interesting mix of architecture. You do see these tall, modern buildings on one side and a view from the suburb. It's a few seconds thing. Singapore already feels incredibly modern. But but you know when you are traveling through it like this, you realize the city is still constantly changing. That clip is from one of my relatives' house. Singapore is still building sky-rise buildings. As we moved a little further out, things started opening up. There was more greenery around us, and you could still see things like high-rise buildings sitting a distance away. That's probably one of my favorite things about this bus ride. You're not rushing from one attraction to another. Alright, from here I'm going to slow things down a little, stepping onto a double-decker bus, sitting on the top, getting a really perfect view for the audience for the upcoming City Tour segment. So you are officially getting into City Tour segment. I have decided to remove the narration entirely to let the visual of the double-decker bus speak louder than what I'm doing. This section will rely only on curated musics of instruments and ambient city sounds to provide a relaxed, immersive experience for the viewers. So if you want to sit back, relax and see Singapore through the window, enjoy the ride. Or if you are the one mainly here for Sentosa, you can jump straight to 30th minute. Otherwise, turn up the music, sit back and let's explore Singapore.
for tonight again. Even in another lifetime, find me there. And let's do tonight again. Even in another lifetime, find me then. And let's do it tonight. Tonight again. Even in another lifetime, find me then. And let's do tonight again. One more dance and I might just fall in love. I know the DJ and I love this song. One more dance and I might just fall in love. I know the DJ and I love this song. Me and you and the night feel so young. Every single moment has led up to this one. Whoa, did the stars align? Whoa, maybe it's a sign. We should do tonight again. Even in another lifetime, find me there. And let's do tonight again.
Alright, after that long ride through Singapore, we finally made it to VivoCity. And from here, getting to Sentosa was actually pretty simple. We headed upstairs, found the Sentosa Express, and jumped onto the train towards the island. We were leaving behind the city buildings and crossing over the island. Suddenly, everything started to feel a lot like a vacation. But when you get onto Sentosa, that's where you felt like you are in a completely open space. Seeing the water makes you really immersed in that vacation feel. This place has so much going on that you could probably spend an entire day or even more just exploring the island. The one on my right is a place where they have idols like people like Shah Rukh Khan and big famous celebrities idols where you can go and take a selfie and take a picture of. It was roughly 15 Singaporean dollar. We did not try that because the first thing got my attention was something else. Yeah, right there. Because almost immediately something got my attention, we just started walking to this area, this huge structure sitting high above us. SkyHelix Sentosa. Looking at it from the ground, I thought, okay, it should be pretty easy, but you basically sit in an open air gondola, it slowly takes you up.
And one more thing, this is not Universal Studios, so the ride does not explode high down very fast or drop you down or go crazy spinning you guys around. Okay? I will not say don't look down because whenever people say don't look down, you still look down.
That was really a good joke. I didn't expect that from him, but it was a funny start. The buildings below slowly became smaller. The coastline started opening up as we progressed up, and we saw the full picture of Singapore because we went almost roughly 100 meters above, if I'm not wrong. Sounds relaxing, right? Well, once you are actually sitting there with your feet hanging in the air, it feels a little different.
Hey there, what you drinking?
Nothing too crazy, but definitely a pretty good way to start Sentosa. You get a good view from the coastline, you see the marine activities and the city on the other side. It gives a completely two different pictures.
So right now this is one of the highest view that we offer. So take a look around at all the attractions, hotels and resorts scattered all around, and also the view of Singapore homeland back there.
Oof, done with an SkyHelix experience, such an incredible one. And if you're planning your own Sentosa trip, I think this is probably a good time to explain how getting around the island actually works. Because Sentosa Express has four major stops, which includes VivoCity. You start at VivoCity, then you have got Resorts World Station, the first one from the VivoCity, and Imbua Station, where we took our SkyHelix, is an Imbua station and that is in the middle. And finally Beach Station, the last one, which is where we are now. And as we progress, and do not try to cover everything in Sentosa in a couple of hours, which simply doesn't work. There are too much things here. Before you come, decide what kind of day you actually want. If Universal Studios and major attractions are your priority, spend more of your time around Resorts World. If you are interested in attractions and some of the higher parts of Sentosa, Imbo is an important area. And if you are planning to spend more time around the beach station becomes a really useful starting point. And there are foods and restaurants. From here, you have got access towards Silosa, Palawan, and Tanju Beach. Sorry if I mispronounce it. Another thing I would recommend is grouping nearby attractions together. Do not keep traveling from one end of Sentosa to the another end. That will really consume your time too much and drain your energy. Pick one area, explore what is around there, and then move on. Getting around once you are on the island is actually pretty convenient. You have got Sentosa Express, which will take you from one station to another, and island buses, and then beach shuttle service. Beach shuttle service is fully free complimentary service, which we got. So you do not necessarily have to walk everywhere, but personally, I would still leave some time for walking. I personally believe vacation should not be in a hurry mode. And then these are the things which you have to consider while you're planning your Sentosa trip. We started from there. The idols are kind of replicating the same one, the military idols. They even recreated. We are right there. That's what you're seeing on the screen. I'm just stepping onto that area, the museum. In the sound effects, all those are really replicating. And then the wartime activities. That one is really caught my attention. That's why I'm going to give you the entire visual with a sound effect. It will really give you an immersive experience. So go and listen that and leave that how did you feel in the comment box.
Flag and Union Jack were as limp as the men who carried them into the forward boardroom. Yamashita kept Percival waiting for an hour, but once the steely-eyed Japanese general sat at the table, he made his intention clear. He demanded an immediate, unconditional surrender. Percival asked to delay a decision till the following morning, but the request was met by unflinching eyes. Yamashita flatly refused. Yes or no were only words he wanted to hear. With a meek yes, the Gibraltar of the East was now in Japanese hands. 16,000 British, 14,000 Australian, and 32,000 Indian soldiers would start a journey of pain and suffering in several POW camps, including Fort Siloso. And that journey started with a 36-hour march through the center of Singapore to captivity in Changi prison. The Japanese renamed Singapore Shonanto, meaning light of the south. Its inhabitants were plunged into darkness.
Sorry.
Sir, fire! Hit! Hit on one installation! Continue firing on present range and bearing! Continue firing on present range and bearing! Right or not, there's no time to hang about. Our job is to support that 6-inch gun emplacement. Go down the steps as
I hope that was quite fascinating, doesn't it? I never seen such recreation in any other tourist spots. Okay, now this part of Sentosa completely changed the mood of our day. Yes, I'm not bluffing anyways. This is how I felt. Because behind all the beaches and attractions and beautiful views, there was a much deeper history to this island. This is Fort Siloso, built by the British in 1878 to help protect Singapore's harbour and important shipping routes. And here is where the story gets interesting. The fort was originally designed mainly to defend Singapore against an attack coming from the sea. But during the Second World War, the Japanese invasion came down through Malaya, which is Malaysia nowadays, and attacked Singapore mainly from the land. During the Japanese invasion, Fort Siloso was used as a prisoner of war camp for British and Australian prisoners. So, during the Battle of Singapore in 1942, Fort Siloso became a part of defense against force approaching from that direction. Many of the guns could fire towards land. The bigger problem was that much of the available ammunition had been designed for use against ships, making it less effective against troops on land. As the battle reaches its final days, British deliberately disabled the fort's gun so that could not be captured and used by the invading forces. After Japan surrendered in 1945, the situation reversed. The fort was then used to hold Japanese prisoners of war. Today, what we are walking through is the most intact surviving coastal fortification in Singapore, with old defensive structures and underground areas still preserved. It was officially gazetted as a Singapore National Monument in 2022, and I think that was what makes this place fascinating. A few minutes ago, we were enjoying Sentosa like a vacation destination, and now we are standing in a place that witnessed one of the most important periods in Singapore's history. Standing up here and looking across Singapore, I think this is a good place to slow down for a minute. Because after traveling around the city for a last few days, one thing really stayed with me. Singapore knows how to use its space. This is a relatively small island, but everywhere we traveled, the infrastructure felt connected everywhere. The trains, buses, roads, walking paths, tourist areas, Even the way Sentosa connects back to the main city, it feels like somebody actually thought about how people are going to move from one place to another in a very, very smart way. And what impressed me even more is how much greenery they have managed to keep around all of that development. You can have huge buildings on one side, a busy road underneath you, ships out in the distance, and still be surrounded by trees. Singapore did not become what it is overnight. This country went through some very difficult years before becoming the place we are looking at today. And whatever country we come from, and I think there is something we can learn from that. Development is not only about building taller buildings, it's about building things that actually make people's everyday life easier. Good transportation, clean public spaces, infrastructure that works, and planning for what a city is going to need 20 or 30 years from now. And after spending almost the entire day moving, I think this was the perfect place to finish. No buses, no trains, no attractions, just the beach. Sometimes when we are traveling, you can so focused on seeing everything that you forget to actually enjoy where you are. So for that last part of the day, we did not really have a plan. We just walked along the beach, watched the water, slowed everything down. And that pretty much brings us to the end of the episode 3 of our Singapore journey. Today we saw Singapore from the top of the bus, traveled across the city, made our way into Sentosa, went up on SkyHelix, explored Fort Siloso, and somehow ended the whole day right here by the ocean. But Singapore is not finished yet. Episode 4 is coming next, and we have still got another side of Singapore to explore. If you have been traveling with us from episode 1, thank you very much for being a part of this journey. I will be see you in the episode 4. Until then, from Sentosa, Singapore, see you in the next one.